South Carolina is set to carry out a rare firing squad execution this week, marking the first time this method has been used in the U.S. in almost 15 years. Brad Sigmon, who brutally murdered his ex-girlfriend's parents with a baseball bat, is set to be executed on Friday. He was sentenced in 2001 for the horrific killings. According to investigators, he murdered the pair in different rooms, going back and forth to attack them after realizing each one was still alive. Since the Supreme Court reinstated capital punishment in 1976, states have employed various methods to carry out the killings. However, three approaches have most frequently been implemented across the country. These are the use of lethal injection, electrocution, and fatal gases. Lethal injection remains the dominant execution technique in recent history, with 1,428 executions since 1976, and Texas leading with 593 inmates executed, data from the Death Penalty Information Center reveals. Currently, 28 states, along with the U.S. military and federal government, sanction lethal injection, which involves administering a fatal drug cocktail to an inmate strapped to a gurney. However, lethal injection has faced significant issues, including difficulties in locating viable veins, needle malfunctions, and shortages of necessary drugs. A number of states are beginning to experiment with new methods of execution because of the problems with lethal injection, notes John Banzhaf, George Washington University Law School professor emeritus. 9 states, including Alabama, Arkansas, Florida, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, Oklahoma, South Carolina, and Tennessee, authorize the use of electrocution. Since 1976, there have been 163 electrocutions, with only 19 occurring since 2000. In this method, an individual is strapped to a chair, and electrodes are placed on their head and leg before a jolt of between 500 and 2,000 volts is sent through their body. The last electrocution occurred in Tennessee in 2020. Texas utilized electrocution from 1924 to 1964, resulting in the deaths of 361 inmates, according to the state's Department of Criminal Justice. The electric chair used by Texas was nicknamed Old Sparky. It is now on display at the Texas Prison Museum in Huntsville, where the state's death chamber is located. Lethal gas is authorized as the default execution method in 8 states: Alabama, Arizona, California, Louisiana, Mississippi, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Wyoming. From 1979 to 1999, 11 inmates were executed using this method, which involves strapping a prisoner to a chair in an airtight chamber before it is filled with cyanide gas. In 2024, Alabama revived this method when it became the first state to use nitrogen gas to execute Kenneth Eugene Smith. A mask is placed over a prisoner's face and nitrogen gas pumped in, depriving the person of oxygen and resulting in death. The last such execution in Alabama took place in February.